So let's talk about GBP USD here. This was what I was watching this morning for a long idea, meaning I wanted to buy it off the 50 EMA. We saw it move really strong on the Fed news yesterday afternoon. Stock market reversed yesterday. Everything turned around when Chairman Powell started to speak. So this morning, seeing the TDI in the buy zone, everything in an uptrend here, I'm looking to buy this off the 50 EMA. I'm watching, I'm waiting. I finally get my 1 minute setup. I really like that we have the divergence here on the 1 minute at 3:30 into 5 o'clock, setting the low at 139.50 was the price, a higher low here, a higher low here, and I sent my markup right here as an entry idea at 6:30 in the morning to the group chat. So I'm sure there were people in our VIP chat, people that have taken the courses. They're in the chat, they see my ideas every day, and some of them take these ideas. I never say in the group chat, yo, I'm in this, because I want to create self-sufficiency within our group. I just share my ideas so people can read risk for themselves and make the decisions themselves. But still, I show where my bias is. So I could have been in this trade. The stop loss here, as you can see, was very, very tight, only about 11 pips. So with an 11 pip stop, we're able to see it move quickly, about 14. So you get one R here, pulls back to the 50 EMA, doesn't come close to the entry price, and then makes the full move from the entry. It goes just about 30 pips, 29.2, 29.5 pips. So you're over 2R in this situation before it then ends up coming back down. You can see where news comes in at 8 o'clock, and then it moves lower after news. So you could have been in and out of this trade before news. Could have taken 2R and been done very quickly from 6:30 to 7:20, not even a full hour, and you would have made your money. But what I did instead of taking the trade was I talked myself out of it because I saw how impactful the Fed news was yesterday. So I thought that the Fed news today could shake things up. Instead of saying, look, this entry is an hour and a half before my news comes in. I could still make money before news comes in and lock my stop loss and make sure I don't lose anything. That would have been the right approach with this trade since I had my bias. So here, not that we like to call trades misses because misses mean that there's not more coming, but this is something that I should have been in. According to my rules and according to my systems, I should have clicked the button here. So this is that mental fatigue kind of kicking in. Because if we go back to yesterday, I've been watching GBP JPY for a while. This was something really all week. This was something I wanted to buy yesterday, but we didn't get a long opportunity at all. Nothing off the 50 EMA, nothing off the 21. But look at the TDI. It's a beautiful long setup, which told me this would probably move higher today. But with that Fed event at the end of the day, it was just waiting for the Fed to speak, and then it made its move higher, and it actually finished the day at a high of day. It broke past the London session high here. So that long bias was correct, but not getting the entry signal can create some more mental fatigue. I want to trade this long. I want to trade this long. It hits 10 a.m. I got to stop trading. I come back at the end of the day and I see it moved higher. I'm sure you've been there, right? So again, the fatigue can come not just when you're taking losses, because I'm not taking a bunch of losses, because I've learned how to control my emotions with meditation, with more awareness. But the fatigue can also come when you're not taking trades. So it's a better problem to have, in my opinion, right? Because I'm not digging myself into a hole through losses. But at the same time, I want to make sure I'm staying sharp and not getting too fatigued. So that way, yesterday's frazzle of the Fed news thing doesn't screw me up, and I'm able to come back in on a day like today and hit this 2R winner. That would have been a great win to go into Friday with. Since I haven't traded all week, 2R, out before news, boom. But I was being emotional. I was being too caught up in the feelings about the trade rather than reading the checklist and acting the way that the checklist tells me to. We can even go back to Euro JPY. This was something, you can see it, I have it marked up here. I was watching this earlier this week on Monday, looking for long opportunities Monday. Didn't really move much. Looking for more long opportunities here on Tuesday, right here as I just woke up. Didn't take it because it wasn't a super high probability setup. So even though I wanted to be buying it, the TDI wasn't great, right? EMAs weren't great. And then we see it tank, see it move the opposite way. So this was a situation where I stayed out of the long opportunity, and I felt good for not getting sucked into it because this wasn't a great setup. But even though I could feel good on a Tuesday for avoiding a C setup, that avoidance, you got to just make sure you're aware of it and don't let it lead to fatigue like I did 2 days later. Don't let the fact that you didn't get your signal on a Tuesday prevent you from taking a trade on a Thursday because you're distracted. I hope that makes the most sense to you guys. So I don't want to ramble too long. I know that I can talk about this stuff for hours, but I wanted to give you guys some context and some tactics to apply into your trading to just avoid this mental fatigue. Don't try to ignore it. It's going to creep up on you. You got to be aware of it. Pull yourself back so you don't take losses when you are feeling fatigued. do something to reset yourself. Like this weekend, we've got family coming in. I got the boat rented on Sunday. We're going to be out hanging out. I'm going to come back on Monday feeling great. So you got to know yourself, but take the 4 tactics that I gave and try to apply them into your trading. I know it's going to make a difference. Meditate, start somewhere, right? Time off the desk. Don't question the system if you're doing the work and doing the back testing and forward testing, and be open to learning something new. Go learn a new skill. Learn something about space. Learn something about, I don't know, math. Go learn something. Push your brain to just connect new neural patterns, new neural pathways. That's going to make you come back sharper. I know it will. But just remember, the off-the-desk time out of those 4 tips is probably the first one that you all need to work on. Just like if I was to go to the gym and do biceps every day, my biceps wouldn't look good after a couple of weeks because I would blow out my arms. You got to give it rest day. You got to give it the nutrients that it needs. You got to give it the supplements that it needs to then grow stronger. Your brain is the same way. So don't burn it out. Give it what it needs, and that will let it grow. I hope this video gives you guys a real insight to what it's like to be an active trader. I'm sure it's relatable. Comment below if you felt the fatigue like I have this week. You can see I'm never going to be shy to admit my mistakes or admit my weaknesses because I know that sharing these videos helps me grow. I do better next week because of this. And I know if you watch all 13 minutes or however long this is, you're going to do the same. So